All right, here we are now. This one is for you, Cancer, over there. And this is from Terra Lumination. It is your April 2019 season mini generic love and relationship report. Okay, I know some of you have seen these before, so you kind of know the routine. If you need to, just skip straight forward to the cards. But I have to do a little bit of a preamble to get the newbies appraised of what we do here and how we do it and why we do it. Cards are already well shuffled in advance, but I like to go to the last second so that you're a witness. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Sorry, no time, no room. We can do that if you want. You can get in touch and we can do that kind of stuff. Before we actually get to the cards, I want to give you an illustration of what we do here and why. We're using the Terra Lumination Crucible spread. It's on the understanding that there's you, another, and then there's a third entity called the relationship itself, which has its own life, meaning, purpose, identity, energy, and so on. And it's a growing, living thing. It's like owning a business together, whether you like it or know it or not. And it generates energy. In fact, the whole relationship generates energy. It has its own aura. It is transmitting and receiving energy, just like you as an individual. You are a transceiver. They are a transceiver. The relationship is a transceiver. Now, the crucible is a bowl-type structure. In laboratories, it's typically ceramic, and it's designed to withstand intense pressure under alchemical reactions. So it's very similar to what happens in human relationships. So it really helps to have this kind of awareness. Otherwise, you're just conducting your relationships in a very narrow bandwidth, and there's so much more going on, and you can tap into that. So the cards will come out this way. You, other, deep in you, deep in the other, the relationship, and what is growing here. So out here, we're going to look at the weather, okay? Let's just get on with it. This will make sense. If we have to, we'll come back to that, but I'm going to just get on with it for now. Now, singles, if you want to, you can even watch this, but you have to understand the laws of attraction and what is it that you are pulsing and radiating out to the universe, and what is being reflected back to you in the form of a significant other or potential significant other. So this energy over here would represent the energy of what if, okay? Otherwise, those of you who are paired up in some way, shape, or form or other, and it's significant, especially if it's chosen, then this might make more sense to you, okay? Now, when we get into this, if you're sitting comfortably, please, basically treat it like a little movie. Invite your invisible friends, settle down, get comfortable, and enjoy the story as much as you can as it unfolds. When I do this, I feel like I'm dropped into the middle of a movie, and I have to narrate the story as we go, all right? Also, guys, watch for your sun, moon, and rising, especially if each one is different. One of those reports will resonate significantly louder than the others, okay? So please allow for that. You can blame it all on the planets to where they are at that any moment in time. Remember also, we just came out of a very monumental month in March. I call it the gateway month for the whole year, and I did a whole playlist about that if you're interested. But I'm not going to dwell on the astrology much at all for this, okay? So here we go. All right, we're good. So bless this deck, and bless every single card in the deck. Bless you, Cancers, for being here. Bless Terra Lumination. Bless the technology, the cameras, the platform, the electricity, everything that allows us to do this at all, okay? So this would be you, Cancer. What are you radiating here? Like a smartphone. What about the other? Now remember, this is not a couples reading. It's all about you, Cancer. You're the star of this story, and this is the co-star. Okay, we're just allowing for them to be in the story with you. Deep inside of you, deep inside of the other, and then to the core, the relationship itself, and what is germinating here, okay? Think of it as a business. What are you guys growing, okay? Think of this as a little plant. What are you growing, okay? Now we're going to look at the external energy, environmental influences. I call it the weather, and you have the King of Wands here. Okay, so I'm sensing, for you, Cancer, as wonderful as this energy is, the King of Wands energy is out there. My feeling is that this is like a chance, like the circumstantial energy is telling you, it's like you have a chance now, Cancer. You have a chance now to really, really grow into your stature more than ever before. It might be very shaky. It might be very scary for you for whatever reason, the planets, the relationship, job, career, health. But my feeling with the King of Wands is that what it's really about is that it's your chance. This is your chance to glow and radiate and be like however you were before coming into this reading. Coming out of this reading, what I'm asking is that you look at yourself and see yourself radiating King of Wands energy. Forget about the gender, whether you're male or female. Just look at it as an energy field and that it's coming at you and that you need to know this. And this wouldn't be coming at you unless you needed to know it, or it's a reflection of some of your own energy coming back to you that you needed to know from the universe, including in the context of love and relationship. So as challenging as the things might be for you, Cancer, this is actually an opportunity for evolution, growth, adaptation for you to blossom, okay? So it is going to require you to, let's see, be on your best form, okay? Let's have a look. I'm going to set this aside for a moment. What are you radiating over here? With the Ten of Swords, you might have gone through like a major implosion recently, and I don't know how this would be for everyone else, but I'm just going to tell you right now, this is personal. I'm going to confide, like over the last few weeks, it's been an extreme roller coaster, personally, for Terra Lumination. And given the reports and comments that I see coming into the channel, there are other people who had these like almost like catastrophic events happening in their lives where there is like it almost like it can't get any worse, and you feel like it's almost the end of the world. But it's not, okay? With the Ten of Swords, it's just a culmination, a point where I feel like you, Cancer, are realizing like, this is no longer appropriate. I might be radiating this energy now, and I'm getting a reflection back to the universe, back from the universe, that this part of me, this highly abused, pulverized, crushed, insulted, undermined, underappreciated, understood, misunderstood, undervalued, confused, distorted, everything horrible that could ever happen to a person, an individual in life, has reached a point of stark awareness where it's coming out of you. It's like you're looking in the mirror at yourself going like, God, I can't believe how I've been carrying this energy for so long. You know, a lot of us become experts at burying huge amounts of wounds and pain and suffering that need healing. And you get to a point where you say to yourself, you know, enough. I can't take it anymore. I don't deserve this anymore. You know, I have a limit. It's not acceptable anymore. And I think what's happening is the universe in its own way is telling you, like, well done, Cancer. It's time you see yourself in this light, as opposed to being the victim, constantly the victim, over and over and over and again, to the point where it becomes your identity. You become identified by others as a victim. And so everyone says, okay, well, you're a victim, so you're going to get victimized. And then you realize, oh my gosh, so I'm just literally receiving my own energy coming back at me. And then the King of Wands says, yes, I was trying to make that point for your whole life. But now it's coming to stark realization. So good. I'm glad that this is coming out of you and you're radiating it. And I'm getting a chance to show this back to you. Like, wow. In other words, you're saying to me, dear universe, dear heaven, dear angels, that I don't need to be this way anymore? Exactly. You can be more like this because you have that component in you. It's just a choice. It's a decision. Okay. Okay, that means radical shifts, radical change have to happen because this is no longer acceptable. You can't keep living like this. It just becomes intolerable for yourself, in other words, and everything. Everything basically collapses around you when you have this kind of energy that you're radiating. So you have to have the stark realization like, wow, this is my energy. I own this. And even though you might be a victim, even though you might have been victimized many, many, many times over in many different ways, not just in this relationship, but by yourself to yourself and by others in relationship. And it comes to stark awakening, like, wow, that's it. No more. So what about the other? Okay, Ace of Cups. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Cancer. My feeling is that you are in some kind of situation. Maybe it is a specific someone who loves you very, very deeply, and they're obviously out there. I mean, normally we would be focusing on a one-on-one relationship thing here, but for some reason, Cancer, I'm sensing this is above and beyond a one-on-one, like love and romance type relationship. I'm talking about relationship in general to the broadest sense, where I've never done this on a love and relationship reading before, but this could include a parent, a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a dear, dear friend, a spouse, a mate, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a child, a pet, okay, where all they have for you is love, okay? Very, very simple. It might not be obvious in like romantic ways or in ways that you would have expected or wanted, but it is there nevertheless. Like, this energy is coming at you from another and from a significant other. Let's put it all in one basket. And it's new starts and new beginnings in terms of love and how love works and how you perceive love, how you are loving and how you are loved, how you understand the concept of love, the definition of love. And you are getting this because you deserve it, okay? Now, with this coming at you from another, there must be someone out there who has either the qualifications or the qualities of a very, very pure love. And they themselves are also seeing new starts and new beginnings for themselves in the context of love and relationship, where it's almost like a gateway for them is opening now. It's almost like you guys need each other in some way, shape, or form. Like for you, dear Cancer, this other person is almost like divinely ordained, and this is their chance to be very, very loving, okay? A lot of people yearn to be loving because it's an incredibly satisfying experience to love another and then to have that love reciprocated back to you. So my feeling is that you, dear Cancer, in all your deepest pain and misery, even though you might be conducting yourself as though this doesn't exist, they know deep down that the only way this kind of crushing pain and misery and suffering, only actual medicine that works is this love. You can have all the doctors and the treatments and whatever, but ultimately it's the love of another. Like, to me, it's like unconditional love, pure love, in very, very simple ways. Things like very measurable stuff like kindness, affection, consideration, patience, companionship, good listening, good communications, being there for you in your darkest hours, being there with you in your most joyful moments, all of it, okay? I'm happy to see this. So what about deep inside of you? More swords. With the Eight of Swords here, my feeling is that you might be feeling like really whipsawed, like shell-shocked, perhaps what's the word? Like dazed and confused from everything that you've been through recently. Again, blame it on the planets, blame it on a person, a job, a situation that's maybe nothing to do with the relationship. But like a realization that huge amounts of pain and suffering that happen to us can in some ways come from our own self-undoing. Now, sadly, tragically, in the growth and the life of an individual, a lot of people who are carrying huge amounts of pain, of victimization and victimhood, and are still struggling with it very, very deep down, like the very, very deeply buried scars of victimhood and victimization that confound every experience, even in adulthood and maturity and beyond, right up to the moment of now, where you would think like, such and such a situation that happened as a little child or a youth or a teenager still has really, really deep scarring and effects on our life, which impact every decision that you make, every act that you make, and how you live and what you do it, in everything that you do, which includes how it impacts a loving relationship, especially if it is with one significant other. But I feel it's also to do with others besides a significant other. And I think with this energy here, fermenting and coming up from deep inside of you, I think it's coming more and more into your consciousness that you are actually a carrier of the classic hallmarks of abuse, victimization, and these would represent the scars and how you've been having to navigate through all of this, hoping that it doesn't get any worse. So, you know, as scary as these cards might be in their own right, my feeling is that it's a blessing that all of this is starting to come into your conscious awareness so that you are not crippled by victimization and victimhood. You are fully aware of it, because when it comes into your full conscious awareness, then you have a chance to heal it. So I'm looking at this as very much a classic case of you got to reveal it to heal it. And it's just happening, I would say, spontaneously or synchronistically in your life for this to happen. In other words, this is the moment, this is the time in your life right now when all of this stuff is supposed to be coming out of you, radiating out of you for your perception to be consciously aware. And all the stuff that's deeply buried that still has to come out is still there, like layers and layers and layers and layers of like energy that's ultimately like, it's like hyper corrosive energy that destroys anything that could be loving or that has the energy of opportunity, of happiness and joy. And so you end up living a life where you've had to substitute love with things like excitement or thrills or activity or things like mission or purpose or getting or having or doing, to substitute for the massive vacuum because of the lack of genuine, honest, true love that is happening, okay? Now, deep inside of the other, let's have a look. Okay, so with the Eight of Cups here, my feeling is that they are going through some really big new thing for themselves as well. Remember, this is a completely different person with their own energy, and it's happening in the context of a little movie, and the movie is, this is the movie about you, and this is the co-star. So my feeling is that over here, in their own growth and evolution, they are sensing new gateways, new opportunities opening to them, where they are witnessing in themselves, like looking in the mirror like, my God, I am actually the embodiment of love in a very, very simple, pure sense. Now, how that is respected and understood and received by my significant other, that's a whole other thing. But I'm just me trying to live my life here, and I see myself, my other, and our relationship in a whole new light now. But what it does mean is that everything that I thought was love, everything that I've loved, everything that I do love is changing. And I too am evolving and heading forth on a new journey in the context of a loving relationship. Okay? Now, if there's a lot of friction between you, Cancer, and a significant other that is showing up like this, to me, it's like, it's to do with the very, very, very painful process sometimes of what happens when we reveal it to heal it, or when we have to reveal it to heal it, or when we are basically forced by nature or evidence or the planets or circumstance to reveal it to heal it. So hopefully, Cancer, you will see this as a good thing, okay? So what happens, they in themselves are witnessing their own evolution where they realize, wow, I am a very loving person. I have been very loving. I have been very loved. And this might have all happened in themselves, in their own life, perhaps before or long before you ever showed up. And they are witnessing their own life journey unfolding in front of them when it comes to their experience of love in this physical lifetime. And they're discovering, wow, I still have more to learn. I'm not sure I want to leave behind everything that I know and love already, because I have so much love already. I have shared so much. I have been so loving and I have been so loved. And yet the journey continues onward and upward. So it's kind of epic. To me, this whole thing looks like a sort of epic, very old-fashioned romance novel. And I'm going to tell you something that I felt right now. It's almost like one of those, I don't know if you've seen those kind of movies, romantic movies in the old days, of the earliest days of flight, when they had biplanes and the most advanced airplanes had two wings, and the pilot had a leather helmet and a silk scarf trailing behind them. And it was a very rich, powerful, vivid experience, even though they were zooming through the air at maybe only 70 miles an hour. But it would have felt mind-boggling at that time. You know, today on the flight from New Zealand, you know, I was doing like 600 miles an hour, but you don't feel anything. You really felt it back in that day. And that's what I'm feeling is happening here. You are feeling things very, very vividly on the journey of like new awakenings that's happening with you in the context of another. And it's almost like, to me, it feels almost like one of those biplanes, and there's two passengers in the plane, and you're on this journey together, and they actually happen to be the pilot. Okay, I know you're the star of the movie, but at the moment they're the one in the front seat holding the joystick, trying to keep it going, and they're kind of going, like, wow, this is amazing for them, just like the discovery of flight, and you're enjoying it as well, but you're in the back seat kind of going, oh my God, oh my God, I can't do it, like, and all your worst fears come to the surface, and they're like, it's okay, we can do this, everything's going to be okay, you've got me, don't worry. I know how to do this, and somehow or other they know how to do this. So it's kind of epic. Okay, let's get back down to earth. Calm down, Terra Illumination. Okay. Okay, see, back down to earth, little pentacles here. I'm very happy when I see pentacles like this in a reading right here, especially at the core, when you realize, wow, this is so cool. It's almost like instead of them being like the pilot and you're just a passenger, it's more like you guys are a team and you're more like a co-pilot, and you're just being stretched to the limits of your new journey in love and relationship by sharing that journey with a significant other who has the ability and the opportunity and the awareness and, let's say, the full-hearted openness to live in that role of actually holding onto the joystick of life and navigating through life and breaking new horizons in terms of, in this reading, it would be love and relationship. So they're living their journey. You're living your journey. It's two very different experiences in one relationship. And in the relationship, it is a team effort. So, like, they are really enjoying this in their own way, and perhaps a sense of remorse and sentiment of having to evolve and grow. But that's what happens when we evolve and grow. We leave behind older paradigms, and that's it. It's now history. And it's the same for you. So what happens is, my feeling here with the Three of Pentacles is that you realize you're actually very good for each other. Like sometimes there's going to be periods where they're going to say, hey, listen, can you take the controls for a while, dear co-pilot? And because I just want you to chill for a while, okay? And then you're like, oh, okay, I can handle it. So like sometimes, like, to me, it looks like the energy of leading in relationship here, like it's in a very balanced thing. And there are times where you're the one in pain and they're taking hold of it and doing the comforting. And then it's like the whole reading is going to flip around one day, and then they're going to be in the one in pain and suffering. And then you will take the joystick of life and handle it. So sometimes you're the architect. Sometimes you're the artisan. Sometimes they are the architect. Sometimes you are the artisan, okay? Sometimes you're the co-pilot. Sometimes they're the co-pilot. Sometimes you're the pilot. Sometimes they're the pilot. But you get it done. You do what has to be done to get it done, okay? You think of it as a journey, something that you're building and that you're creating here, and you guys can't do it without each other, okay? So what is fermenting? Okay, so with the Page of Pentacles here, my feeling is that, again, this feels like very new opportunities, new energy here, because this energy is so strong over here from the significant other, and the energy out here is so strong from the environmental influences. And yeah, you might be quaking in your boots. You might be, terrified. Like going back to the little airplane analogy, the old-fashioned biplane, you might be just sitting there hiding behind the windshield, just terrified to even pop your eyes over the shield and look up. But you're doing it. And you're handling it, okay? The relationship can handle it. They can handle it. You can handle it. Yes, it might be scary. and it might be scary for them too, but you're dealing with it, and you're both going forward, I feel, into the unknown with the best of intentions possible for yourself, for them, and for the relationship. So that's good for everybody, okay? From the Tarot Illumination perspective, love is as love does. So when I see pentacles on top of pentacles like this, I see evidence of love in action. So with the Tarot Illumination definition, love is basically a specific, chosen, let me start again. Love is the willing decision, conscious willing decision, to take yourself above and beyond and outside your comfort zone. Oh, no. In order to deliberately foster and nurture your own growth and evolution and spiritual healing. And in so doing, that fosters the other. And the same thing's happening with them, okay? They are deliberately stretching above and beyond their own comfort zone in order to foster and nurture their own spiritual growth, evolution, and healing over here for their own journey. And they're doing it in the context of relationship, seeing how it's actually mutually beneficial. And it's evidence. There's hard evidence that shows that this is working. It might be scary, but it's working. And so you have measurable evidence. Pentacles would be measurable, like you have something about the relationship where you can actually see how you can lean on each other, enjoy each other, appreciate each other, heal each other, and benefit accordingly. In other words, you're not just trying to just have the good stuff out of a relationship and hope the bad stuff goes away. You see it. You might not see it, feel it, or live it consciously, but you are living to quite a high degree consciously, because otherwise that little Page of Pentacles wouldn't be here. You're actually germinating and growing and fostering something of great value. It's in the early stages yet. So I don't know where you guys are in your relationship, but at this moment in time, if you could take a snapshot and just say, this is how it is right now, and it's opening up and it's growing into something that is nutritious and good for you. And it happens to be for them, and it's happening in the context of relationship. So this is just good old-fashioned loving and being loved. And the drama plays out in the little movie type story that I just described below. And long may you continue in one way, shape, or form or another, as you intimate, as you separate, as you fly through life together. That's how I'm seeing it, all right? There you go. And of course, you land safely. Yay. All right. Thank you, dear Cancers. You can reinterpret that however you want. The skies are good for you. All right. Bye-bye now.